Hello and welcome to the second episode of Beat Stickman Infinity Clones Climbing Leaderboards series. I'm going to show you the progress I made since the first episode and a few questions that were raised during my gameplay. Then I'll explain how I intend to answer those questions. Let's get started. Alright, let's look at the progress I made since last episode. As you can see here, I have a very pathetic number of 1% of my overall CD. It doesn't look like I'm gonna ever prestige again. Unless something insane happens, even if I were to double this number, I would refuse to prestige. I would need at least times 5 or times 10 to be worth it because it would take me so long to reach this level again, and having to start over would be unbearable. So I think I'm gonna have to accomplish the task with this amount of CD. It's unfortunate because prestiging is fun, but I'm on a mission here. Now, let's look at the progress I made on leaderboards. Kills, first episode of course I was with 0, now I'm number 45 with 195 kills. I may have figured out a way to climb up all the way to the top, and I'm going to talk about it later. So that's skills. Levels, look at that, number 4, and by next episode I expect to be number 3. For those who don't know, FVS is the developer. So FVS, if you're watching, it might take a while, but I'm coming for you. When it comes to Winter Jaw, I'm gonna come back to this as well, but he's way ahead. Hats, they don't really matter much. I went up a bit. I don't think we'll look at them very much unless I start seeing people going up, but I didn't see anything move here. And then debris, first episode I was at 252 here, so I let the game run for one night. So in one night I made 20,000 debris. 2 more nights I should be very close to this guy, so it's coming along really great, and it's not gonna be a problem at all. We can look at coins too. You see the number here. I'm at pretty much at the same number I was, which means if I calculate correctly, because I spent quite a bit, but during that night I made about 3,000 ad coins. So I'm pretty satisfied with how much ad coins I can make in one night. And also I made the macro on my mouse, so now I don't have to get my wrist destroyed. As I'm building this video, I'm also preparing for episode 3. And it seems like ad coins will be even more vital than I thought. You'll know what I mean in the next episode. Now, let's look at weapons and the progress I made on weapons. I'm going to show you here. Let me just get this. Now I have questions. So, I came up with questions during my session between the 2 episodes. We see this number. I saw this before. INF, so there's obviously I busted through the maximum number. So the first question of course is, what is this number? I need to know this number, and I'm gonna use Ukes to figure it out. All I have to do is use free upgrades, and that's gonna enable me to watch very closely until I reach the number. I'm gonna write down that number. Why? Because of DPS. The question is the maximum number applicable to DPS as well? And I suspect that it is. It's probably a limitation in the game. So what happens if you reach infinite DPS? There's a game that I play once in a while. I'm almost done. It's called Wild West Saga, where if you reach 179.76 DT and make 1 cent more, your file gets corrupt and you need to get bailed out by the devs. So I hope it's not the case in this game, because this is going to be an extremely long prestige, and I could reach absolutely ridiculous amounts of DPS. I'm gonna have to figure that out as well. Other question I came up with is about the clock. I told you I like the clock a lot. I observed it and I gain between 5 and 6 kills per clock. If there's no medic, of course, let's ignore them. But the thing though is, even if I have double DPS, so here weapons times 2, which I'm not even playing, I'm just talking, but weapons times 2, with or without it, I get 5 or 6 kills. I'm gonna confirm if it's 5 or 6, I'm not sure. 5 or 6 kills, times 2 or not. And also, at one point I made an enormous increase in DPS for inflation, and I still had the same amount of kills. So that's interesting. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on Excel and I'm gonna check how many clocks per hour I get on average and how many kills per hour it gives me on average. And if we look at the leaderboards here for the kills, where I was completely discouraged, how many hours would it take me to reach above 20,000? And if it's a reasonable number, let's make something, I don't know, 100 hours. It could be more, it could be a bit less. It's certainly double digits or maybe 3 digits, but I don't know, I'm just speculating. Then I could beat this guy. And then when you kill clones, you also level up, don't you? So let's look at the relationships. I'm gonna go back. 195 kills and level 126. So if I have 20,000 kills plus, let's say I pass in 25,000 kills or whatever, which level am I gonna be? It's possible that I might be able to pass this guy as well. So I'm gonna have to do some calculation and figure this out. I'll do that, and for the next episode I'm gonna have some more answers. This concludes the second episode of Beat Stickman Climbing Leaderboards. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and a comment below. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell. This way you won't miss future episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.